let's talk about the Brandon Aiyuk situation. Let's just dive into
Yeah.
that real quick. All of a sudden, this is
It's
becoming a
juicy.
topic, right? It's just a juicy tidbit that out of nowhere, right? Because we haven't even heard about Brandon Aiyuk in forever because, again, he's injured. The 49ers just continuing on, trying to get healthier. We know about the drama that went down before during the contract talks and things like that. And
Right.
there was injuries discussed then and value, and they didn't want to give him a bigger deal. They bring him in, and lo and behold, there he is, injured, and now we're seeing this shakedown here. Joe, give us the tidbits.
It's very interesting because this whole back and forth battle, if you will, from the 49ers organization to Brandon Ayuk and how they wanted to go about everything. They get a new deal done last year. And before he even asked for a trade, he was really like adamant about getting out of San Francisco. But now here we are a year later. And quite honestly, it's way past his due date to be back on the football field. I mean, injury normally doesn't take a couple years for it to heal. So something else was brewing, right? So here we are now. We're getting reports out of San Francisco that not only are they maybe very closely in line for a divorce, but the 49ers went ahead and said, "Hey, what the hell's taking so long with your injury? We're expecting you back by now, and you're still not here. You keep telling us that you're not ready." So guess what? This is happening. We're going to void all your guarantees on your contract. So now there is no more guarantees. Now, Brandon Ayuk, if he does in fact get hurt, guess what? You're not going to continue to get those payments like you were before. So now this all heading to the tip of the spear now, going into this offseason, which was already going to be nuts, is now just getting even worse. So Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers seem to be odds end at this point, knowing that a player of Brandon Ayuk's caliber is no longer getting guaranteed money on his contract. Yeah, I could say it's fair to say that he'll be a free agent by the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. And again, I know there's a bunch of teams that are going to go out there for him. Absolutely. I mean, because he does bring stuff to the table. It's just they were always focused on, he wanted bigger money, like number
Money.
one
Yep.
money. And that's they were just like, well, you're clearly not that important to us right now at this point. They were easily able to move on from Debo Samuel and try and invest in their newer, wide receiver and Ricky Parasol and others there. So invest in George Kittle, a key cog to their offense and how they're running too at tight end position. And it is funny. They've been doing this cat and mouse game for so long, and then it comes down to this. But the 49ers, they're not afraid to do this, right? They're not afraid to make these changes and do these and do the tough moves, and I feel it's crucial for them to move on what they want to do and move forward. You've seen what they've already done here and bringing in Mac Jones and getting that franchise going and keeping them in winning ways. And allowing for Brock Purdy and the rest of his team to get back and get healthy. But they could use somebody of Ayuk's stature here, on that wide receiver position too, because they weren't exactly ready and able to push the ball down the field either. They did struggle in that matter. And it seems like it's been Christian McCaffrey all day here for this team pushing it. So that is a factor here. But like I said, the 49ers seem like they don't care. They're not afraid to just, work these contracts and do what they need to get
It's
done to move
pretty
forward.
easy when you void all guarantees because your player isn't coming back.
Mm,
Makes it a
yeah.
pretty easy decision. There's no financial penalty for it.
No way.
So, yeah, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. Now, by voiding those guarantees, and now you can reinvest that money into someone else, maybe like Juwan Jennings, who's due to be a free agent at the end of the year. Maybe they're going to reinvest in him, keeping him around because you've seen some of the plays that he's been making. Just the absolute juggernaut of a wide receiver who's really killing it on the football field. You look at the game against the Panthers recently about how three guys, not one, not two, but three guys had an opportunity to tackle him at the 5-yard line right around there. And he just powered through all of them and scored the touchdown. What I will say is I think that John Lynch and the 49ers have watched Juwan Jennings grow from a player who once started as a backup for them and has now emerged as a premier starter. And they're like, oh, you know what? Brandon Ayuk's kind of expendable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Again, they just know how to get talent too, Joe, and it doesn't matter where they're drafted; they can just pick it up. Like I said, in free agency, they're stars there as well. So we'll see how it unfolds and see where he ends up going.
Hey everybody, this is Big John from Grumblings Media, and I just want to say thank you for watching our content. If you want to support our efforts here at Grumblings Media, just smash the subscribe button right here, totally free, or Just go ahead and consume more of our great content. Click either one of these two boxes.